Hey everybody, I'm Zach Scott. I'm from the Speech uh, 1010 CO6 class. Hope everybody had a good Easter weekend. Probably better than mine considering I worked all weekend. But today for my video, I'm going to talk about pit bulls and bad reputations. Now, like a lot of people, I am a dog lover. I've always, I always loved dogs. Always had probably 2 or 3 dogs in my house at one time. One situation that's always really kind of bugged me and got to me is how everybody wants to categorize pit bulls in general as being very, bad dogs. Well, um, the reason this bugs me is because I personally have a situation where I actually know my aunt and uncle have a pit bull who is not a bad dog at all. And I feel like this is something I need to bring light upon. Last semester, from an English class, I did a paper over this, and during my research, I found a lot of interesting things. I found that certain studies show that pit bulls are, in general, probably the number 2 or number 3 friendliest dogs of all the breeds. I found that one study showed that they did a test on the tolerance of different dogs and different breeds by they took a stick and was like poking them in the face and stuff, and on that list pit bulls were the number 2 least likely to react behind a golden retriever. Now I know a lot of times people won't, people don't believe this and people don't believe the stats and everything, because I feel that social media and the news and all those different things are the ones that have caused pit bulls to have such a bad rep, because all they ever talk about is the bad things that have happened with them. With the whole ordeal that went down with, for instance, Michael Vick and the dog fighting and all the very brutal attacks from pit bulls, that they're automatically categorized as bad dogs, when really it just comes down to the owners and the training. A properly trained pit bull is actually very, very calm dogs. They're actually very good dogs to have as house pets. They're actually very good with children. I did some more research in about, in the 1600s, when pit bulls first started coming around, through when they first were bred. They were used as what's called the nanny dog. Each family who had kids all owned a pit bull because they were very good with kids and they were very protective over kids. A lot of people, pit bulls are very, very territorial, and a lot of people mistake that as aggression and anger. One thing that I will say is that pit bulls are not very tolerant of other dogs, but they are very tolerant of humans. Trained properly, a pit bull is loving and caring and very energetic and great to have around, to anybody really. I know this from experience because my aunt and uncle own one. He's about 4 years old. A very big dog, but a very gentle dog. He sleeps in the same bed as them at night. He doesn't. My aunt and uncle have a 4-year-old child. He sits with the child all the time. I mean, he lays on the couch and lets my little cousin like lay on top of him and everything like that, and it doesn't bother him. He doesn't get aggressive towards my cousin or anything like that. They're very good with children. Um, it's just, and that's another reason why all this bad rep about pit bulls bothers me, is because I personally know that they're not bad dogs. I've done a lot of research in how to properly train them. Pit bulls need to be outside doing stuff, exercising, being active regularly, or they get bored, and which is when they get bored is when they uh, develop the bad habits. That's when a lot of times, if they get bored and irritable, is usually when they become angry or aggressive. Um, they need. A lot of people think that they can train them on their own, which they can't. Pit bulls are a very special breed. They need to be bred in or trained in a very special way, and you need, if you own a pit bull, then you need to take them to a special trainer to get it done. If you're going to own a pit bull, spend the money, get it done. Trust me, you can't do it on your own. If you, the best thing to do is to get them as a puppy and put them as a puppy, put them around other dogs. Let them learn what it's like to be like around other dogs and how to cope with them. Because if you don't, like I said earlier, as they get older, they are not very tolerant of other dogs. They get very defensive and protective and territorial, which again is what a lot of people see as anger or aggression. Um, you know, I just feel I feel like social media needs to not only talk about, the attacks on humans and all that other stuff, but they also need to talk about all the good things that can come from pit bulls and all the good things that they do. I mean, I've read stories of pit bulls dying, protecting their owners from other animals. I mean, there's pit bulls who, have died in dog fights against other dogs, protecting their owners, not in dog fighting what we think is dog fighting, where everybody's gambling and stuff like that. Um, I know that pit bulls are very, very strong animals, and they have very strong jaws, and which is why a lot of people um, have such bad injuries during a pit bull attack. Which is another reason why anybody who owns a pit bull should have it properly trained, so that it can reduce the risk of an attack on somebody else. Um, you know, I feel like it's something that everybody, even people who don't own a pit bull, should know how to react and handle dogs like that. Dogs who are very territorial and who can be aggressive if not trained right. You know, and then I feel like that information and research and knowledge should be passed on to people who want to own pit bulls and people who do own pit bulls, and in turn, it needs to be a chain that goes on down down the chain of people learning how to deal with these animals, so that one day, hopefully, obviously, it's probably not going to ever completely fix the problem, but hopefully, it will in turn show people the importance of it and show people and owners that they do need to get the proper training, so that it can cut down on dog attacks and that stuff like that. Because believe it or not, um, pit bulls do not have the highest number of attacks in America. Rottweilers actually have the highest number. And a lot of, one little small myth is that when a pit bull bites down on you, that their jaws lock down, which is not true, honestly. Actually, Rottweilers are the only dogs that are like that. Um, Statistically, Rottweilers are much more dangerous and much more aggressive than a pit bull, which not many people know. Like I said, pit bulls, in one study showed that pit bulls are the number 2 breed to least likely react to somebody messing with them or somebody, trying to get them stirred up. Um, I think the most aggressive was actually a Rottweiler, and then I think the second most aggressive was what was it? I think it was a boxer, honestly. Like I said, pit bulls are not aggressive. Just people need to learn how to deal with them. Owners need to learn how to train them. They need to get them trained. They need to be put around other people so that they're used to it. You know, it's just a lot of pit bulls are just very protective. That's all it is. It's just they're protective of their owners. They're territorial to other dogs. You know, it's just social media has made it into this huge ordeal that's really not. You know, yes, pit bulls are, can do a lot of damage to somebody in a situation of attack, but that's not that's not the only thing pit bulls are good for. You know, pit bulls do a lot of good things, and they're very good house pets, and they're very good animals to have because they are very loving and caring and protective of owners. And I think that me personally, I want a pit bull, and I think anybody should have a pit bull. I think that'd be a privilege to own a pit bull. And I think everybody should, you know, change their views of pit bulls and understand that they are great dogs. And I hope that, I know this is only one video, but I hope that a lot of people, see it and understand, and can hopefully, one day maybe all this will change. So that's what I hope to kind of get out of this, and that's what I kind of hope to do sometime in the future. So thank you for watching. I might want to go in and upload this so that I can get a good grade for it. So I hope y'all enjoyed it, and I will see y'all later.